Hey team, how are you? I hope each and every one of you is doing very, very, very well. Hey Rovina, hey Ira, hey Ian, hey GoGentic team. This is Bob Cargill presenting to you social media, branding, and marketing in the AI era. Let me share my screen and I will present to you the slides. And let's see right here. You should be able to see the slides now, as well as myself, and we will get going. We will dive into things. So let me start. Just a few words.
Human qualities are more important than ever because technology is taking over, dominating. And the society, I see it, you probably see it, it seems to not care or not be able to keep up. Maybe society does care, but aren't able to keep up. People aren't able to keep up with what's going on. So that's why, number one, embracing technology, understanding it, knowing how to use it, and then use it to show who you are. And that could be if you're a corporate brand or if you're a personal brand. Human qualities matter. So I tell my students, when we use social media in the classroom, when I'm using social media right now to reach an audience, the qualities, yeah, I'm embracing technology, but using technology, ironically, to show my human side, to show who I am, what I sound like, what I have to say, what I look like, all my flaws. You know, I'm imperfect as they come, but I am here talking to you.
Yes, I am here talking to you. And I think right off the bat, I want to make that point that I rode the social media wave from the very beginning. I started my blog in 2004, and here it is 2020, 25. I'm still writing my blog, still publishing my blog, adding video to it, adding context to it, content to it on a regular basis. And I am comparing the AI era to the social media era. And that is, we can't fall behind. We have to embrace it. And I know all of you are. And we have to realize that those on the receiving ends of our marketing messages may not be up to speed, may not be early adopters like us. So we can't forget the human side of business when we are presenting ourselves, when we are marketing, when we are branding. And frankly, within the AI field industry, in AI, no matter how we're using it, same. We do not want AI to replace us as humans. So it's so important to put forward the human side of your business. We can't forget that. One more quick video.
Come down from your ivory towers. That's what was written in the book, The Clue Train Manifesto. In the year 2000 or so, 20 years ago, that's what was written in that book. That what the authors were saying to business executives. Come down from your ivory towers. And they were saying, come down from those ivory towers and get on the internet and talk to your customers, listen to them, engage with them. The Clue Train Manifesto, a great book written all about the internet. In the future of the internet. And the future of the internet is now, this is 2020. That was 20 years ago. They foresaw social media. And social media is how brands and businesses, marketers and advertisers, how we talk to our customers, how we engage with them, how we listen to them.
Yeah, so that was a few years ago. I recording it about the emergence of social media back in late 90s, early 2000s. And again, I liken AI, the emergence of AI, to the emergence of social media. And we're riding the wave. You, me, all of us, we're riding that wave. We're embracing AI. And we just have to be mindful that, again, not everybody, in fact, probably the majority of people out there aren't up to speed. So the best way to market ourselves, the best way to brand a business, to brand ourselves, is by not forgetting the human side, by using technology, but by partnering with it, not by relying on it solely. Because in marketing, and I've been around a long time, 20 years, let's say, approximately, before the internet, 20 plus years after, and I've seen a scramble for the competition for people's attention. And there's a cacophony more than ever of noise in 2025 and beyond. And that noise is more and more being genericized thanks to, or not, AI and technology. So we can stand out by being unique, by being different. Otherwise, we're just going to blend in with everything else. We'll fall through the cracks. So we don't want to blend in. We want to be ourselves in our glory, and also, as I will talk about later on, in our perfections, our idiosyncrasies. Okay, you will see as I go forward, there is a theme to what I am presenting to you today, these slides. So I started out in the early 80s in New York City. I was a copywriter, RCA Direct Marketing. Right from the get-go, I was in marketing right out of grad school and have been in marketing ever since. Up until about 2017, I was in the corporate world, small, mid-sized agencies, client side occasionally at some very, very big companies like Vistaprint and RCA and Warner Brothers and Meredith, but all on the creative side, creative directing and copywriting and social media directing, if you will, was my last full-time corporate job. 2017, I left that, and I've been an adjunct professor pretty much since, off and on. Well, I'd say more on than off these days. I'm teaching at 3 different schools this fall, 4 different courses. I teach social media, marketing, and business. But this picture reminds me of back in the day, me walking around New York City trying to stand out. How do we stand out from the clutter? We have to differentiate ourselves. That's how we stand out from the clutter as human beings, as businesses, and as brands. We don't want to be generic. And I'm telling you, with AI, I see it. I can detect it right away because I use it myself. But I partner with it. I can detect AI on LinkedIn, in advertising, in videos, and it doesn't stand out. It's not unique. If it's just AI, you need to partner with it. Let's talk about storytelling, because this is a great way to stand out and be unique and show the human side of your business. This was in Rolling Stone magazine recently. I was really happy to see it, April 22, 2025, all about storytelling. And it was talking about your personal journey. It's where you've been and where you're going in every step of the journey that you're on. You want to take people along with you for that journey, for that ride. And that's storytelling. It's talking about you or your business, your products, your services, taking people behind the scenes and documenting what it is that you do day in and day out. Put it on social media, put it out there wherever and however and whenever you can, with regard to communicating with your customers and your prospective customers. Be a storyteller like my wife. She's a preschool teacher. That's not her. That's a stock photo. But she tells stories to her kids, and she has them hanging on her every word, and they're listening to her intently and engaging with her. And that's how you do it. You want to tell stories. Let's talk about why storytelling matters for startups. Well, there's an emotional connection. There's trust. And there's memorability. In fact, people remember stories 22 times more than facts alone. Can you believe that? And yes, you make that connection and you build trust. And trust is a rare commodity in this day and age. Trust, though, leads to people doing business. When they know you, like you, respect you, and ideally trust you, they're going to be more likely to do business with you. And here's, a bunch of different ways you can tell stories, a bunch of different ways to prompt you with regard to telling stories. It could be emotional. It can be innovative. It can be customer case studies. It can be, hey, how we founded our business. Startups, that's perfect for you. Be consistent. Be conspicuous in your presence on social media. I do emphasize that with a punctuation mark. Be consistent on social media, in your marketing, in your sales pitches, how you come across, okay? Your values, your principles, your USP, your unique selling proposition. Be consistent. And it's okay to talk about mistakes. That makes you human. That's that strategic vulnerability, strategic imperfection thing that I will talk about soon. People like themselves. They relate more to people like themselves. So be like other people, and you already are. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Great brand stories identify a problem, provide a solution, talk about your values, show your personality. I'm showing mine, and understand your audience. Don't be unable to read the room. Make sure you know the personas or the actual people that you are reaching out to. Personas is a hypothetical customer. Know their likes, their dislikes, where they live, how much money they have, their psychographics, how they think. Know as much as you can about your audience. That is so, so important. That helps you read the room. That helps you tell a better story that is going to be more effective. Let's keep moving. Here we go. This is an image of that will help you if you glance at it, and you will have these slides, and it's how to put together a story, how to present that story, and it gives you different ideas like company history and why do we do what we do, and brand messaging and brand attributes and your vision and your executive bios. There's so much you can talk about. Never think you're out of things to talk about. Okay, everything within reason is fair game and fodder for your content marketing activities. Let's go back to that slide. Yes, turning everyday moments into marketing gold. People don't expect you to be highly creative, highly strategic, if you will, in your marketing, in your advertising. They just want to see you as you are, your brand as it is, your products and services as they are. So document your days, document your moments, and share them with the world. Authenticity over polish. You don't have to rehearse things over and over. You don't have to choreograph. If it's so well prepared that it's perfect, that's not authentic and genuine and transparent and believable. You want to show your process of building, in your case, your AI solution, and in other cases, whatever product, whatever service it is that you have to offer the public. You want to show how it's built, show how it's made, show how it's delivered, show what it can do for your customers. Okay, bunch of different ways, or should I say, ways you can get create content and distribute that content. Different forms of content, like blog posts. I've had my blog since 2004. Case studies, I've already mentioned that. Webinars, you could call this a webinar, something like this. Videos, I suggest daily, multiple times a day, putting videos out there on social media, short form video. Social media is your stage, okay? And I've already mentioned it. Consistency builds trust. Engagement creates community. So be conspicuous in your presence on social media so people see you day in and day out on a regular basis, but you're engaging with them and you're showing the human side, okay? It's not a generic staged, choreographed avatar without a personality. Human side of your brand. It is the human side of your brand in all ways, shapes, and forms, how you are day in and day out, in all the humans that work for you, not just one human, okay? People want to see everybody behind the scenes. People want to know as many other people who they are doing business with as possible within reason. So put them out there. Employers, don't be afraid to put your employees out there. They're brand ambassadors for you. They're corporate all-stars for you. Look that up. Steve Rubel said that years ago. Edelman Digital. People who are known on social media, who have a following on social media, and they work for you, those are your corporate all-stars. I'm going to skip over this slide in a second. I just want to mention that you need to engage your audience. You want to target your content. Strategic planning, that takes place before content optimization. That's how your content is going to reach the biggest audience possible, and on which channels is it going to reach those audience members. Back in the day, Walter Cronkite, 70s, 80s, maybe going back to the 60s, 90s, the most trusted man in America. He delivered the news. Everybody trusted him. Who do we trust now? That's what I mean. There's not a lot of trust in people today, in leaders today, in brands and businesses today. You want to be trusted, okay? This is personal branding. I was Beast. That was my nickname as a kid. But personal branding, I rose from being the Beast as a kid, a scrapper, rough around the edges, to Professor Cargill. But it's all with personal branding, with the help of personal branding, thanks to personal branding. Each and every one of us is a brand. We, as kids, might have had nicknames. We might have nicknames now, but we either, maybe you want to be known by that nickname. I don't think I want to be known as Beast to my professional public. I, like I said, rose from being the Beast with my friends, believe it or not. In my hometown, they still, my friends from back in the day might still call me Beast. And that's an endearing term for me to hear, because it means we grew up together. But what I'm saying is, your brand is you, and you want to craft it, carve it, steer that narrative as much as possible. Personal brand and business, corporate brands. So, and you can steer that narrative by putting content out there, by being conspicuous in your presence, by highlighting the positive qualities and principles that you stand for. Okay, that Beast, when I was a kid, that's my energy. That's my risk taking. That's my entrepreneurialism in this day and age. That's Bob Cargill's Marketing Roadshow. Okay, that's my personal brand today. Your brand is what people say about you. It's when you're not in the room, behind your back, they are saying, oh, great things. And that's what you want. You want them, obviously, to be saying great things. You're always building your brand. Whoever you're talking to, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, online, offline, you're always building your brand. Everything you post on social media is a reflection of who you are, how people think of you. Consistency, authenticity, generosity, be nice to people, help people. It will come back to you. That equals trust and influence, and that's what you want. Best brand stories, they're real ones. So tell the truth, be honest, don't be afraid of being transparent, meaning let people in and see your world. I'm showing you my home office. This is at my home, Sudbury, Massachusetts. Let them in the door, open the door, say hello, greet them, talk to them, be yourself, show your scars, let others learn from the lessons. Hey, speaking of 20 jobs, 20 lessons, that's my book. Let others know about the lessons you have learned during your journey. So you hear music in the background, that's Kesha. I saw Kesha in concert recently, and I'm putting her here, her music here in this AI overview, because in that, let's go back to that, it says your vulnerabilities are your strengths. Kesha sings, and I went to, like I say, I saw her down in Mansfield recently with my wife, and looked sold out to me, full house. Her vulnerabilities are her strengths. That's what she talks about. That's what her fans want to hear, because as Mark Schaefer says, strategic imperfection, that's an essential strategy to beating the bots. And I've already talked about that. That's how you stand out among the competition, and frankly, among the AI created content that's all so perfect. You want to show who you are as a human being. And I'll speak for myself. Nobody's perfect. So it's okay to show your imperfections, because strategic imperfection works. So post. People relate to real moments, okay, versus polished performances. Mistakes are memorable. Flaws can be magnetic. They want a person, not a production. Like Dale Carnegie said back in 1936, this is how to win friends and influence people, by being yourself and showing that you are interested in others. Become genuinely interested in them. Smile. Remember, when they hear your name, right, Rovina, right, Ira, right, Ian, when people hear their names, they pay attention. That's the sweetest and most important sound in their language. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves, talk in terms of their interests, and make them feel important. You are a rock star. I say that to my students all the time, so that they feel good about themselves. You feel good about yourselves, life goes better, and you'll be more likely to like those, respect those, do business with those who make you feel good about yourself. Parasocial relationships. That is when you see somebody online and you see them repeatedly. That's why I say be conspicuous in your presence. They get to know you. The more they get to know you, the more they get to respect you, like you, and trust you. People do business with people. I had a parasocial relationship with Dennis Yu before we met in person a few years ago, because I had seen him all over social media. Now we see each other all over social media, but we only met this one time. That's a parasocial relationship. In fact, parasocial relationship, taking it to an extreme, is somebody you'll never meet, you never have met, but you feel like you know them. Maybe like me, feeling like I know Kesha. I saw her in concert. I didn't meet her, but that's a parasocial relationship. Dennis, you and I, before we met, had a parasocial relationship. I guess you can say now we have a genuine relationship because we met in person. But he says, and I love this, your personal brand is a reflection of how you lift people up. So it doesn't have to be all about you. It actually shouldn't. It should be about your customers. It should be about your prospective clients. It needs to be you to a degree, but a lot about them. Here's what I'll say right here. This is very, very, very important to know. And that is, make sure people hear you. You do not want to be the tree that falls in the woods and nobody is around to hear it, so it doesn't make a noise. I'm not saying you need a bullhorn to shout it literally from the rooftops, but you want to make sure you are heard and seen. Do not be camera shy, like I am not. That's me dancing in the North End. Do not be camera shy. Be a thought leader. A thought leader is someone who shares their thoughts, their opinions, the news, maybe even someone who is entertaining on social media, such that they're known to the point where, like I've said, people have parasocial relationships with you. You're a thought leader. They listen to you. They care about what you have to say. And because you have something they're interested in, they're more likely to do business with you versus others. Be a rock star. This is a guitarist from Boston, a classic rock group from back in the day. And I was right up front watching him play the guitar. He gave me a guitar pick, believe it or not, at the end of the performance. This is a few years ago, but I'm showing a rock star because imagine what it feels like to be a rock star, Barry Goudreau in this case. They feel good about themselves because everyone's cheering for them. Imagine that. Well, you can imagine that. Just feel like a rock star.
Social media, you own it. It's owned media. And it's a great opportunity for you. Everyone can be a publisher, like I write my blog. Everyone can be a broadcaster, like I have my podcast. I have my YouTube channel with over 1,000 videos. You have such an opportunity here. And I say this to the young people, especially digital natives. You've grown up with the phone. My phone's right here in front of me, recording at the same time as I'm recording off of my computer using Riverside. Thank you, Riverside. But what I'm saying is you have the opportunity that I didn't. I mean, the book I wrote, 20 Jobs, 20 Lessons, Long Strange Career in Marketing, from junk mail to social media. Half of my career was before the internet. I didn't have, when I was young, the opportunity that I had about halfway through my career.
Yeah, so again, we, myself included, have tools, technologies that obviously 10, 20, 30 years ago, certainly 30 years ago, we didn't have. We need to take advantage of them as consumers and as when we're wearing our professional hats. And that's what you guys are doing. And you've got such a great thing going. And you're doing what every business, every brand, every organization should be doing. That is taking full advantage of today's technology, today's social media tools, today's AI tools in order to communicate and create businesses that are going to be around for a long time, frankly, that won't be left behind. So kudos to you. Here's one of my parting lessons, some parting words for one of my remaining lessons learned. I've already mentioned it. I'm going to emphasize it. And again, with a punctuation mark, and that is document, don't create, as Gary Vaynerchuk says here, Gary V. If you don't know him, look him up and listen to him and follow him closely. But document your day, and there's your content, okay? Yeah, and your career is your content. Every job you've had, 20 jobs, 20 lessons, that's content. It's the foundation of your brand. So reflect on your journey. And again, anything I'm saying, think of personal journey, professional journey, educational journey. corporate journey. Okay. Businesses, brands, personal brands. This is how you market yourselves. Share behind the scenes stories, inspire others by showing them the highs and the lows. Okay. AI is a creative partner. It helps us create more content faster. It helps us do more things better. Partner with it though, not at the expense of our actual intelligence. Should we be using artificial intelligence, and make sure you have control over it. Okay. It's not perfect. Neither are we. We need to partner with it. Okay. Here's some action steps for you. Start documenting your journey. Create a content calendar. Schedule out all that content that you're going to share on a regular basis. That is on behalf of your personal brand and on behalf of, in this case, GoGentic. Capture behind the scenes moments, B-roll, outtakes, bloopers. That, have a sense of humor. Let your hair down, as they say, and put yourselves out there, and obviously experiment with AI. A little bit more about my book, only because I want to share these lessons. The brass ring. When I was a kid growing up, I was fortunate and privileged enough to go to Martha's Vineyard, Oak Bluffs, Flying Horses Carousel. You grab the brass ring, you get a free ride. I never grabbed the brass ring when I was a kid, but I did as an adult, believe it or not. My wife and I on the same ride both got the brass ring. I always say, figuratively, hypothetically speaking, as a metaphor, reach for the brass ring in life. You get a free ride, you get another opportunity. Always be reaching above and beyond. Embrace technology. Very, very important. I don't have to tell you all that. And believe in yourselves. Know that you are a rock star. You have to believe in yourselves. And it's important to not be afraid of being imperfect, because perfect is boring. So remember, be genuinely who you are. And I'll speak for myself. None of us are perfect. I'll speak for myself. I'm certainly not. So just be yourself. And I'll wind down by saying the world revolves around you. When I was a kid, I was told it didn't. And honestly, I didn't grow up with a lot of self-esteem when I was young. I overcame that as my journey unfolded, progressed, and I learned that the world does revolve around me and everybody else. Each and every one of us does the world revolve around, like this 360-degree selfie camera. We are all equally important. We all equally matter. But know to build yourself up as a personal brand, you may have to think like a rock star. And that's thinking, I got this. Standing ovation, sold out. No worries. I got this. The stage is yours. Post, record, connect, be the rock star. You already are. Each and every one of you is a rock star. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for joining me today for my presentation on social media marketing and branding in the AI era. And I'm going to stop the presentation, and let's see, as I do that, here we go. And I'm going to say thank you once again to you, Rovina, Ira, Ian, and each and every one of you from the GoGentic team. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. And I hope very, very much you have enjoyed my presentation. And please don't hesitate to connect with me, Bob Cargill, on LinkedIn or anywhere else on social media. And remember, I'm always here for you. I'm always here to help. Thanks again.